Hello, I am Doug, or Dogden as you can call me, and this is the first of my theatre blogs in which I'm going to talk about theatre a bit. It's going to be great. No, seriously, it's going to be really fun. I'm about to start an MA in London at Birkbeck and RADA, which is teaching you all sorts of practical and, I guess you say, academic sides of theatre. And I wanted to start a blog so I can sort of share a few, keep it going. Who knows, if anyone actually watches this, they might want to be like, discuss back. But if anything, it's revision for me. But I'm going to start off because I haven't begun yet, so I don't really have anything to say. So this is like introductory blog, which is always awkward. Excuse me. That's the theme, tea and theatre. It's great. Anyway, there are words that we're going to encounter, such as Stanislavski. It's great. He's great. This is him. But then also, I don't know if you're going to see this mirror image. It's going to be great. I don't know how to reverse it. But this is an act of affairs, which is like kind of the big actors' text that drama schools often teach and often used to solely teach, I believe. And it basically says that you have to feel what the characters. So, for instance, one of the things he says, this is a novel, believe it or not, in which he expounds his theories, which is a bit crazy, but hey, we'll go with it. And he says that in order to play a character's emotional stage, so in order to cry, you yourself have to remember something from your past or find something that affected you so that you reproduce that emotion in reality rather than a mechanical, and here I am, sort of dry heaving sobs. Which is kind of a powerful idea. You are literally on stage, and in one way it makes it more real. The idea is that the audience is not just seeing King Lear or whoever crying, they're also seeing an actor actually crying because they have actually remembered something that's very sad, which is one of the reasons they say actors have mental breakdowns, because they have to relive all this shit again and again and again. So we have him, and then on the other side, in my opinion, his complete contrast and the polar end of the scale, as I have yet discovered it, is Mamet. Yay! We like Mamet, we like Mamet. He's great. Anyway, sorry. We have these two, and this one, as I say, says you have to use reality and real emotions. This is going to be a lot of these blogs. I'm going to edit them, to be honest, so, enjoy. Real emotions, whereas he says you shouldn't. In fact, all you should do is learn your lines and learn the blocking, and if you don't know what blocking it is essentially the movement that you do around the stage. So character A walks in and crosses to the window and then crosses downstage being the side of the stage closest to the audience. And he says you should just do that, you should just have enough time. And I'm going to read you a little quote from him because I love him, because he's very angry and he goes a bit over the top, and even he says, I've gone over the top, you need to actually do a bit more than that. But that's what he says as a reaction to Mr. Stanislavski, who was so overpowering, and that he needed to be a polar opposite in order to make an effect. And then only then he could sort of slowly retreat and be like, well, actually it's a bit more difficult than just learning your lines and knowing the movement. But he says in his first chapter, acting is not a genteel profession. Actors used to be buried at a crossroads with a stake through the heart. Those people's performances so troubled the onlookers that they feared their ghosts. An awesome compliment. Those players moved the audience not such that they were admitted to a graduate school or received a complimentary review, but such that the audience feared for their soul. Now that seems to me something to aim for. And I guess at the start, 4 minutes into my first ever thing with not really that much to say, apart from an awesome blackboard which may well be making more things. If you can't read it, because it's backwards, it says, Dogden does theatre, because I'm Dogden and I'm doing theatre, yeah, anyway. And then Stanislavski, which is, Stanislavski. Maybe I'll do these in mirror images. We'll see how that goes down, that might work. Ooh, mysterious. So yes. 1 second. It's chai. Very nice. So, as we set out on the path of theatre, I know a bit already, but what I know is more instinctive. I know, for instance, that I want to direct at the moment. That's where I'm headed, and I'm going into an MA course that will allow me to experience a lot of different sides of theatre. So that may change, but I'm not sure if it will. But essentially, what I'm saying is that I know the instinctive stuff in that I want to be able to walk out of a theatre. Like, I saw The Habit of Art at the National Theatre, and there's a massive monologue at the end delivered by the sole female character, and it's about theatre, and the actress Selena Cadell delivered it in such a powerful, understated manner that I found myself, I couldn't move. Like, not to be like, oh, I couldn't move. I couldn't move. My arms felt like they were glued to the seat, and then afterwards, when we had to get up and get out, I found myself on the tube half an hour later, still shaking from the power of that. And that to me is awesome, as Mamet puts it, awesome theatre. Theatre that makes you so involved, so much. I mean, Brecht, will come to him in another thing, I'm sure, but he actually said, I don't want the audience to be so sucked in that they don't really know what's happening, but I kind of like that. I like being... And also musicals, again, there will be more on this. This is just my first introductory post, but like, musicals have a power to take you out of yourself. So I felt really down once when I was in London, and I just, you get too self-involved, and you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, and then you don't like what you've done in the past, and you don't like where you're going, and you have these sort of dark moments. And then we went to see Singing in the Rain, and 3 hours later I was just bubbling with joy, and I'd forgotten all of the misery. And I think maybe that should have been what this post was about. Too late now, but what is theatre for? Because when I started doing a literature degree, and my first seminar was, we sat down and they went, so what is literature? And you all just go, oh, for God's sake. But maybe not what is literature, what is theatre? Because I think, well, I don't really like metaphysical questions, and theatre is theatre, isn't it? For me, you go into a building and you observe something, and maybe, if it's immersive, participate, but to the most, you are not expected to perform. You watch other people perform a narrative or information or something like that. And it's live. It has to be live for me to be theatre. So that's what is theatre, essentially. So that's done. But what is theatre for? Much more interesting question. And we've run out of time because it's already 7 minutes and you've probably gone. Sorry. But yeah, over and out. I'm going to show you the blackboard again because I love it so much. Look, blackboard in. No.